mature dating.
Oh, may brooch pa eh. Talagang mature. Oh, may brooch.
Talagang
Oh.
mature, di ba?
Oh.
Already game? Game?
Yeah.
Game.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Usapa Wala Lang.
There you
Usually,
go.
it means aimless conversation. Here, we'll be
Wink,
talking
wink.
about ordinary stuff from the perspective of boomers like us. Who's us? We're just locals. I'm Lisa, and I'm coming from the great state of Texas.
I'm Lou, and I'm streaming from the sunshine state of Florida.
And I'm Tita, where things are always more fun. Where else? Philippines.
Yay.
Yay.
Today, we'll be talking about courtship or dating, Philippine style versus US. So, stay tuned and listen. We'll be talking about the differences between our time and now. So, here you go, Miss Lou. Take it away.
I'm in charge with the mature dating. Okay. So let's see. Is 50 or 60 too old to go on a date?
No.
Well, there are different ways of dating in senior years or in adult, mature years. But actually, the basic principle is about the same across the board. So one is mutual connection. Of course, this age group between families and friends, if they're still alive. So now, social group, like, well, you have to consider the age and their contemporary. Social group are churches, fitness. You should go to YMCA. There's so many old people. Travel group and hobby groups. Now, the number 3 is what I did. It's called online dating. And what I did is you have to open an account and then you put your demo, your demographics, and your photo, right?
Okay.
And then once you have all of those, then you can start looking for all the guys. Now, be careful because it is qualified as male seeking women seeking women, and male seeking male. So you better
Okay.
not go to the wrong group, all right? So
Lou.
We're not giving instructions here, are we?
no,
Nowadays.
I'm just relaying what I did because you gotta be
Okay.
careful.
Wait.
So
But there's no such thing as a wrong group anymore,
I
right?
know, but
It's
if
just,
you have to be in the right group. Okay, remember that. Now, the first thing I did when I saw Jeff is that you look at the picture, and then when I tried giving him messages because you send messages, and what you do is you try to get as much information, and it goes both ways, right? But you don't overshare. Whenever you don't give your finances, your home address, work address. And the first thing I make sure is he has a job. Whenever you do, make sure he has a job and make sure that he is in the same vicinity or the same general area where I live because I'm not going to drive 1 to 2 hours just to date you. Anyway, and of course, this you gotta be. So the word is cautious. You gotta be cautious because you don't want to date a psycho. You don't want to date a serial killer or a gold digger. Anyway,
yes.
So
Right.
let me ask you a question.
yeah.
How do you find out if if that guy really has a job?
Well, it goes with the
Wait, he has to
you
show
kind of
he has to show
yeah.
his company ID.
No, you kind of ask what did you do today? Daily activities. So, and then, when you type your email, the first thing I check is if he has the right English tenses and
Wow.
spelling.
Wow.
Ooh,
Because
that's a very
that will, because that
rigorous.
match whatever education, because you will see what sort of education, high school, postgraduate. So if it match what he checked, right? Because if you're postgraduate and you don't know how to create a sentence. That's kind of odd. He mentioned something. Oh, I went to visit my mom and dad. So there's that family. Because you will never get the whole picture. So okay. And then I think after a week he gave me his phone number. Because after a while you don't want to be, yeah, but he gave me his phone number. So I called him. So we were like talking for another week. And then we met in public. Always meet in public.
Okay.
And then I kind of called my sister. I said, "Hey, I'm going to yeah, yeah, yeah." So you have to tell somebody that where you're
Right.
going. So
Right.
we met at the International Plaza, and then I know he was checking me out because I was looking around, looking around. Who's this? Where's this tall guy? And then he kind of went behind me. So I said, "You're checking me out, are you?" And then we ate at we
That did
ate at the
that
car.
that
You're
did
you're
that
a
did
little
that
bit direct, aren't you?
wait, that didn't sound so sexy when you said you're
No,
checking me
I,
out,
you
aren't
know
you?
me. I say it like it is.
When did your heart go to go?
Mm. So actually, after our first date, he took me to his house. So
Not
I know he
ans-
has a house.
not answering my question.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead, Lou. Sorry, go
And
ahead, go
then
ahead.
otherwise, if I don't like him, I said, ignore,
Right, right.
block.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he
Ghost.
took me to see his house, and it's clean.
And it's what?
House
Sleep?
is clean, clean.
Oh, I
No,
thought
Oh,
sleep,
oh,
clean. His house is clean, very clean.
I went to his house and sleep.
No, he
that's
wish.
wild.
And the lesson in online dating is number one, you gotta be cautious and do not overshare and trust your instinct. That's the most important thing.
Good thing.
I just got lucky.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
No,
Right.
you have a rigorous testing that he had to undergo, so it's not
I
luck.
know.
So
So it's really probably the you have to have a little bit of luck also.
That's
But
true.
then if you don't ignore the red flags, and I think that's the most important thing.
Mm.
So the basic thing is trust your instinct. Because if you're not comfortable in anything that they present to you, then it must be true.
mm. Now you mentioned about waiting. That brings me to the dating during our college days. So I can I can speak to that. But anyway, the dating here in the United States is totally dating different from the dating in the Philippines during our days. I have to qualify that because I don't know what's going on now.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a hard and fast rule. This is just what what I know. So, for whoever is watching, if you want to make suggestions or you want to add something, feel free to add. But this is just what I know. Now, the dating in the States is when you are asked out. That's dating. Whatever happens, happens. In the Philippines, there's a process. It's a process, totally different. There's a process called courtship. Courtship. And what it is if there are guys who are interested in you, then they have to express that desire to be with you. And, multiple guys can do that. And they will try to put their best foot forward to be the leader and to stand out among the other guys. And so they will ask you out. They will ask you to join them in doing activities, but that just an opportunity to know each other. Talk, the song that goes, carry your books from school, that still happen. You feel really cared for and you're a little bit spoiled. The other thing is the man comes to your house to visit you.
Mhm.
That way they're given the opportunity to meet your family, but more importantly, to face your family, especially if you have strict parents. So the good thing about this courtship is it kind of sits out the real serious one. Then you say yes. And once you say yes, then you expect exclusively date. And that's when you call date in the Philippines.
Steady
So
dating. Called steady dating.
steady. Yeah. We call it steady.
I thought
That means
I thought you said steady.
Steady dating. Steady, steady dating.
Sorry.
or steady. Or in your province, it could be steady.
Yeah.
Steady dating.
It's not, it's neither long E steady or steady.
It's long and steady.
Most people, when they think probinsya or province, and the courtship, they'd always think about harana, paninilbihan, and in Cebu they have something that they call balak, which is actually a spoken word. It's like spoken poetry.
Yeah.
But you know, these
Oh.
things, I never experienced them. I've never seen them. That was probably way back before I even got into the courtship stage. You know what I mean? By the time I was in high school, the courtship was more in the form of love notes. Love notes that were really short and cute, and they would pass it in class. You would get a short note, and then you wouldn't know who it's from, and then people would start teasing and all that, and then all those cute things that are happening with the kids, and then it would be followed by phone calls, and all of this would be as early as grade school, no, grade 5, grade 6. So
Whoa,
yes,
that's a
yes,
early.
yeah.
Those are
Especially
and
in the Philippines.
crush. Those
and
are
Wake
that's
up.
crush.
that's crushes. And then as we progress into high school, the courtship, or shall we say, the preening, preening and primping and flirting
Not a
would
bird.
really, yeah, would really happen during school events. Um, the school fair, the high school fair, the junior senior prom, and then some of us would have private parties in the house, and then you would invite, then that would be the time that the crowd would be co-ed, because in school, in my high school, we were all girls. So
Same here.
right, no, so we would look outside for we would look outside for boys.
Boys.
and and usually, this wouldn't be boys of our age. This would usually the upperclassmen, 2 3 years ahead of us and all that, and we would feel very very feminine about it, because then the boys would be older, and they are expected to be more caring, more gentlemanly, and all that. There was very very strict parental control over these
Parental control.
things. Yeah, even when parents begin to notice that you're getting frequent calls from a particular boy, they would start asking who he is, where he's from, who his parents are. Today, I think it's, as Lou mentioned earlier, no, the basic principle is the same. No, the channel, the medium has changed. Texting, social media, video chats. It's the same behaviors: preening, primping, flirting. But today, it's just more overt.
Oh,
In, di ba? Parang in the past, when we were growing up, and of course in the 60s, maybe we were not into the courtship and dating yet. Maybe more in the 70s. So even even if we even if it was already the 70s, and it was the age of Aquarius, and it was hippie days, and it was the age of uh, less inhibition and all that, but still this is the Philippines, and so um, it was still less, but
aggressive.
less
I, s- I,
aggressive.
I
Yeah.
saw that in my niece who grew
Right.
up here.
During our time, you never, 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 never let the person know you like them. And you don't initiate calls, you don't initiate phone
Yes.
calls, you don't initiate talking to them. You
Yes.
wait. And it's a
Yes.
big no to
Yeah.
be aggressive.
Pretty much you're really just being coy about it, and being, just stay cute. Just
Be cute.
stay cute and stay likable. That's
You
all.
gotta
But
fix your face.
yeah, but you cannot. I totally agree. No, it is so taboo if you're the one going after the guy or starting the conversation, much less placing a call. Like that is so no. All right. But
Mahigpit ang
today,
tatay ko.
true, strict ang parents ko there. But
Oh, and then
today,
the parents can also listen on the conversation on the phone.
oh, tell me
And don't you
about
think
it.
that sometimes you see it in the old where the guy is there talking to the girl, but the parents are there reading a magazine, or the
My
mom
dad is like that.
is like doing her crochet,
Right.
pretending,
My
oh,
dad,
don't mind us, you can talk.
oh,
Same context, still in the province, but a different time. Today versus yesterday. Today, the younger generation are more overt in the way they show interest in
Impressive.
the other person. They're more aggressive. Outwardly, they exhibit the behavior. Even primping, like even in the malls, I cannot imagine young girls. They use their phone as a mirror, and they keep on fixing their hair, fixing their attire, fixing their face. It's endless. And I said, come on, get the selfie already. Click the button and be be done with it. But no, it's not preparing for a selfie. It's just continuously primping and preening and making yourself attractive to
That's
whoever
when
is
the
around. I don't know.
teenagers take.
yeah. And I
Yes.
noticed that the females are really a bit more aggressive.
I remember in my case growing up in the house, my father had very strict rules, such as if your date, if the boy who's coming to pick you up for a date will just honk his horn,
Ooh, that is a no.
no, no, he has to um,
I mean,
switch off his
happens.
engine, get down from the car, knock on the door, come
Say
in,
good
and
evening.
yeah, and really meet the parents and pick you up from there.
There's
I
a
think,
time limit. Remember?
yeah,
There's a
a
time
curfew,
limit, a
right? There would
curfew.
always be a
So,
curfew.
Well,
oh, be back at 12, and then your dad set their alarm
Mhm,
10
mhm.
minutes to 12. So they're awake by the time you come in.
it still bothers me to see things here. I know like things have changed, the culture has changed, but it
Mhm,
still bothers me when
mhm.
I see things like that when females are aggressive.
I think that's what makes us boomers. When we cringe, we cringe when we see these things happening before our eyes. Like things
Like
that we haven't
shocked.
experienced. Yeah, the shock factor is still there. Today in the Philippines, courtship comes in the form of hugot lines. You know what hugot lines are? Hugot is the Tagalog word for drawing out something from deep within. So hugot lines are akin to pickup lines. But in the
Um,
Philippines, they're
Ooh,
really, yeah, they are the equivalent of love notes. They could be witty, they would always be funny. So here's an example. It goes, "Hey, I brought you something. I hope you like it." As in hopia, as in hopia. I hope you like it. And because I just want to show my love for you. So
oh
ow!
gosh.
so you have hopia and you have
There's like
shomai.
coin words.
Right, right. All right. And here's
Ooh.
another one which I can't help but share with you. It says, hindi na ako gagamit ng Google. Dahil nang makilala kita, the search is over. Woohoo! So
Corny?
You want to slap them
Cute.
around.
I also admire people who are able to um, go over the boundaries of boomerism, so to speak. Like in the case of Lou, for instance, she was able to adapt to the digital technology, using it as an enabler to really find your special someone. And
Yes,
to this
yes.
day they're together, they enjoy each other's company. What could be more satisfying and so gratifying than that, right?
Because I'm not sure. Remember, like oh, your friend will match you with something. It that doesn't really leave a good taste in my mouth. Always remember, if you do go on a blind date or online dating, it's
Mm-hmm.
always out for coffee or lunch, never
Mm-hmm.
dinner,
Yeah,
never dinner.
Yes.
right.
So you have a way out.
To wind down this podcast, we'd like to say dating and courtship hasn't really changed over time. It's still boy meets girl, girl meets boy. But the venue has just changed. Whereas before, in our analog years, it was in the schoolyard, in parties, in junior, senior proms, or in school fairs. Today, the venue has changed. It's in cyberspace, and you use yeah, and you use social media to meet your special someone. Needless to say, the same uh, set of behaviors will kick in. Getting to know the person, making sure he's the right person for you, checking your own personal values, and validating it whether these are the same values that you see in the other person. And when you find that other person, um, just make sure that the top three values match, and the rest you can live with it, because at the end of the day no one is really perfect, right, including
Yes,
us, of course.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
And
that's
so
true.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for eavesdropping. Make sure to like, not lose. Like the
Like, like,
like the podcast, and share. That would be good. And so we'll see you in the next round. Bye for
Bye.
now.
bye.